Hey everybody, Mac to Monster here, back with Marvel Heroes. And if you just saw a thing, as I said, I'm going to do Colossus now. And I am doing a opposite build of what Colossus is really probably in the back of your mind if you read any of the comics or given any thought to him. You know, he's got that tanky look, he's got that tanky feel, and this is exactly what a tank is for this build. So I'm calling the build Colossal Pets, and I'm definitely not the first to do it, which I'm kind of shocked to see that I'm not the first to do it. I don't really browse out there to see what people are doing with builds until I come up with an idea to see if anyone's done it and the best way to do it, or if they've come up with any kind of weird ideas, especially if the character if I didn't like. Colossus at around 30 I was not liking, especially when they got rid of the health regen. It just felt really clunky, and the other builds just weren't working to his advantage. So a buddy of mine, he said, hey, you know what? I abandoned all tankiness and started throwing Wolverine at stuff, and I really liked it. I said, okay, I'll try that. And came up with this, Colossal Pets. Now I throw pets at things, and I made a pet class Colossus, and I had the idea too before making a spirit battery or mana battery, whatever you want to call it, eldritch battery, for a support type Colossus, and this is exactly that build. The build I have set up is for solo play, and I'll tell you how to do it this way, and then I'll tell you how to do it if you got a group and you want to be a support group class. Colossus is about the only character in this game that I know of that can really truly be a full support class in this means. I mean, you know, you got Scarlet Witch and you got a few other Jean Greys and other people that can do support type roles, but this guy can fill your party with massive amounts of spirits, and everybody else can just dump and go crazy with the DPS, and you will actually support them with DPS as well. Not as much, but you can provide massive amounts of spirit. So for the solo play, I'm going to show the build as it is. And what you're going to do is you're going to put points into Fastball Special. Like I said, it's Colossal Pets. And you're going to put points in Bond of Bloodline. These two pets are really good. Fastball Special actually probably beats out damage-wise Bond of Bloodline. You're also going to put points into Reeling Punch. This is the start of being the Spirit Battery, the support role. Because every time you punch with this, it restores 6 spirit to you and 6 spirit to all your allies per hit. So if you're in a group and you're in X defense and you want to go crazy, and you want your buddies to go crazy, and they want to dump all the AoE and go to town, this is going to give them that fuel. You're also going to put points in Colossal Roar. Seeing how they changed how skills with cooldowns work, this now pays off. As you can see, it's hitting for 35 to 50k at level 50. At level 60, it's probably going to be online with Emma Frost's ability, which will be very nice. It's still a little bit longer of a cooldown, but at least the damage will be there. And the damage pays off in spades. Seeing how we're soloing, even if you were in grouping, you'd still take Osmium Skin, but because we're soloing, we're taking Demolition Stomp. This is going to help us with packs. White packs, blue packs, yellow packs, bosses here and there. They'll ignore the Stomp's knockdown. It doesn't say knockdown under the skill, and a lot of people don't read through the actual writing on the skills, but this will knock things down, as well as make enemies take 10% extra damage. So if you wanted to play the full support role, you just have 1 point in this, and then instead put full points in Sustaining Presence. By putting full points in Sustaining Presence and having points in Reeling Punch, not only are you reducing the spirit cost to all your teammates, and also increasing their spirit regen when they're not using powers, when you're hitting things with Reeling Punch, you're providing spirit to them as well. And you're basically doing about 12 spirit a second to your buddies, and that will probably keep them spamming stuff in X defense all day long through the waves. You know, you probably have to get to wave 30 before they'll start really running out and having to stop, if that. because Bond of Bloodline and Fastball Special become fire and forget skills, that's exactly what you get to do. You get to punch, find a blue that can't hurt you, find something that's not really going to harm you, sit out of the way, sit in the back a little bit, throw out the pets, let them do whatever they want while you're punching things and reducing your friend's damage. Throw out the Colossal Roar every now and then, which knocks everything down. Nothing can resist it so far that I've seen, which will add a nice little bit of CC here and there. Hit a Demolition Stomp every now and then so things take a little extra damage. You probably don't have to worry about that part because everybody gets a 10% damage bonus. But that's how you're going to play it with a full support for your group. You're just going to skip Demolition Stomp because you're going to want to punch all the time anyways. And you're going to go full Sustaining Presence. And you throw your pets out every 30 seconds. And I'll show you how you're going to do that. So there's the build. This is my solo build because we're going to Demolition Stomp everything to death instead of Reeling Punch. We'll Reeling Punch once we run out of Spirit for Demolition Stomp. Gear. This is how we're doing it. You can see what's going on already probably if you're a pet player. Wundagore Clay. This one's got 30% Summon Ally Duration. Key here, not the Summon Ally Health, Summoned Ally Duration. Minister Sinister's Medallion. Another pet class thing. 29% Summoned Ally Duration. We're almost at 60% right here. Advanced Wundagore Clay. Yes, you have to be level 51, and I actually leveled him to 51 just so you can see how it goes. 37% Summoned Ally Duration. So that's putting us at 96% Summoned Allied duration. And of course, seeing how we're relying on pet damage mostly, we're only really punching for the Spirit to supply to our friends, or Demolition Stomping just for the extra damage and crowd control. And we're relying on the pets to do everything, so we're going to buff the pet. Our fourth slot would be Advanced Latverian Regalia. Unless there's another artifact out there that does Summoned Allied duration, then we'll throw that in there when it comes out. Alright. Gear-wise, everything else doesn't really matter. Obviously I got +3 from the bands of Cedric, so that's Bond of Bloodline, that's very nice. Anything that you can get pluses to, this is health regen to keep me sustaining. I'm actually sitting at a pretty good healthy amount. Here I went with health just to keep me going. I want to stay alive as long as possible. Regain health and spirit for as long as possible. So I got fighting and regenerate health and spirit on medkit use. Very key important stat right there. That'll help me keep sustaining in case I run out of spirit, which I really shouldn't. It'll keep me health. I want to keep my health high. I want to not have to worry about that while I'm supplying health or spirit to my 5-man party, you know. And then the higher health I have, the higher health my pets have. The higher health my pets have, the longer they live. Because remember, if you look at the pets, their health is 231% of Colossus's health. 243% of Colossus's health. So you're going to cheat because we're not going for health on these. We're kind of losing out a little. Not really on that one. We're going to steal it by going for health on us. So a little bit of a cheat there. I'm sure that will get nerfed. Don't let it out. So I'll go ahead and show how this works. I'm level 51, so I'll actually get to do Taskmasters because that's 49. Solo play, this could easily do orange because you actually don't even have to hit the boss. You can run around in circles. But I'm doing Inspiring Battle Cry. My one of my gears gives me +19 to it right there. So I only have 1 point in it. I also have 1 point in Sustaining Presence. That's just in case I want to switch or I get a 5-man group in MM or something, I can supply them. And I can switch on demand. So while leveling, you won't be able to keep the pets out permanently. Right now, I can practically do it permanently, so I don't care. Ooh, I need that. So I can summon them at will while leveling. I actually had plus duration. An interesting fact about Fastball Special is it's a ranged power. So plus duration on chest, slot 2 and 3, will affect Fastball Special because it's a ranged ability. Something that's not normally in effect. So you can see I can have these out for all but about 3 seconds, 4 seconds. If I was in a serious position of a boss fight, I would summon one, wait 5 seconds, summon the other. Therefore, I would always have a pet out at one time. I would also make sure Colossal Roar was available, so when I was down to one pet, the boss would be knocked down for a few seconds while I was down to one pet, minimalizing my risk. If I don't want to fight anything, I can just hit my, oh, it looks like they ignored it. My signature usually destroys everything. When I'm out of mana, I just start wheeling, punching everything, and I'm back to mana in no time. So as you can see, I'm not really all too offensive, and I'm having 0 issues. These pets are just destroying Taskmaster. Ooh. And yes, it's really that easy. I'm kind of tempted to take him to 60 to see what he does to a T4 Doom. But I'd really like to have my duration at least equal to the cooldown. I think for the T4 Doom, it'd be kind of hard. You'd have to really keep your eye on the timing so you have Colossal Roar up on the downtime. But it should be doable. Probably a long kill. But that's it. That's Colossal Pets. Easily changeoverable to a full support role with a lot of damage potential to help support your friends. And you can keep them pumping out the damage as well. Very interesting build. So I hope it helps. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll talk to you all later.